Let's face it, life isn't easy. If you're stuck in a bad relationship, betrayed or afraid of tomorrow, financially insecure, or desperate for a breakthrough, you've come to the right place. Dr. Carmen Harra is a renowned psychologist, intuitive, relationship expert, and best-selling author, and she's here to give you the miracle guidance you need. Her new call-in show, Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life, offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions, all for you. Dr. Harra's show aims to eliminate everyday problems, big and small, with topics like healing your relationships, reclaiming your power, achieving better health, dealing with loss, and so much more. Regain the joy, stability, and fulfillment you deserve to feel. Tune in to Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life with host Dr. Carmen Harra, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and find the answers you've been looking for.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Miracle Guidance. I'm your host, Dr. Carmen Harra. So excited every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time to be with you. And every Tuesday, I'm picking up on a different topic because this show is dedicated to you and helping you become the most powerful self. And I know everybody's talking about creating the best version of yourself, empowering yourself, but I really want to give you some real tips how to create that empowerment. Now, life is a constant battle between our strength and our weaknesses. A battle between the good and the bad, and between what makes us and what breaks us. As human beings, we, as you know very well, we are vulnerable and prone to errors and making mistakes. But we also are equipped with this amazing, divine, beautiful power about us. And it is that divine power that empowers us, that pushes us to break through every obstacle in our path. The more we draw on the universal form of strength, the easier it becomes to conquer our challenges. In the midst of our daily battles, we can lose touch with this sacred force and feel anything but powerful. When circumstances are overwhelming, we feel lost, exhausted, hopeless. Death, separation, financial problem, illnesses, problems, arguments, fighting, any of these things that happen to all of us can actually rob us of our personal power. That's why we used to say, well, be calm, relax, look into finding solution. But when you become so enmeshed and involved in all the daily problems, you kind of lose this reality. And it's normal for this to happen because it can happen to the strongest individuals. If you look at the most powerful people's life, the way they struggle, what they go through. And it's kind of normal to happen, but it's not normal when we allow helplessness, kind of giving that feeling control over us. After that happening, it is difficult to get back into regaining control, into putting things back in order. So in other words, we falling victims to circumstances means becoming blind to purpose. Actually, want to make this a quote of mine. So falling victim to our circumstances means becoming blind to your purpose. Think a little bit. So if you're victim to what's happening to you right now, you actually don't see the bigger picture. You become blind to what are you here to achieve, to what are you born for. And the truth is that it's so much easier to lose power than to gain power. It's just easier to lose than to triumph. So in other words, if you put these two forces, you see that the negative force seems to be more powerful. But there are many ways to restore that inner force. There are many ways to, exercise your mental and emotional strength, especially when you go through a hard time. And I feel like my show today is meant to kind of show you how this power is inherited from the divine within you, because we are divine. Many times we say we are the children of God. And that was the teaching of Jesus, the teaching of Christianity, that we are the children of God, of this divine or a divine force, but that divine energy is dormant until you wake up that energy. It means that you are expanding that force, you in touch with that force, you discover that force, and that the force, of course, has been put to rest. So the more you overcome, the stronger you become. Some people think that they weak or they damaged because they've been through a lot. As a person who's been through a lot in my own life, I've been through a lot. I can assure you this is not true. In fact, the opposite is true. That the more challenges you defeat, the more you exercise that power and the more you become immune. You create that immunity, in a metaphoric way to your problem. It's about building psychological, emotional intimacy, immunity to hardship, so that you can make peace with what you're going through and resolve whatever is happening with what is the secret, with a calm mind and with an accepting heart. So building psychological emotional immunity to hardship is what makes this what makes everything possible. What brings you that peace to be able to introspect your problem from a different perspective, like detaching from your own suffering and see things from above, putting them in a better perspective. Now, through time, I think the human race has harnessed the root of its power, because humanity has accomplished a lot. We built empire. We invented technologies, the new age technology. We invented the cellular. We invented TikTok. I'm just kidding. We invented all this social media. But we've invented life-saving medicine, and we have shown to be resilient beyond what we thought possible. Think a little bit of this pandemic, think a little bit all the wars we've been going through. But the most interesting thing is that we haven't even reached the peak of our potential. I used to say, we only lose like 10% of the brain. In the past, we used to use 3% of the brain. So the most interesting things, as I said, is that our capacity to build, our capacity to heal, our capacity to progress goes even further than what we know. Now, the individuals who have discovered their inner force are the ones whose name we pronounce every day, the thinker of the world. Einstein, Darwin, Newton, Dalai Lama, Mandela, Tesla, all these thinkers of the world, and there are endless names that we can bring here that have influenced our world in a positive way. My question is, what is the difference between you and these great individuals? You tell me. You tell me. Because my conclusion is that there is none. There is no difference. Because you have the same power as they did. Or you might say, no, I'm not that intelligent. I don't have that ability. I can't, I haven't studied that much. The only element that separates you is that these people I mentioned, and many others, important people in this world, they have discovered their power. They have accessed that divine energy. They have tapped into that extraordinary way of achieving everything they ever wanted to achieve. Now, what is the way of tapping into that power of the brain and indirectly tapping into your strength? What is the way to increase your power? And for that reason, I will take your calls. I will answer all your biggest questions of life, because, I love doing that. I love talking to you. And feel free to call me, 202-570-7057. Now, if you find yourself in the middle of the dilemma, or if you find yourself through an ordeal right now, you can remember, I suggest that you should actually remember the most important truth about life. And the number one is, you are more powerful than you can imagine. You only touch the tip of your true power. Because the power is like an iceberg. When you see the surface, is nothing compared with what's below the surface. You are more powerful than any adversary. Nothing and no one compares to your level of strength. Nothing and no one can overcome you. You are the most powerful under the pressure. Most powerful when there's pressure on you. So don't let the challenges intimidate you. They were given to you to build up your strength. You used to say, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Because if God brought this to you, He will bring you through it. Believe that. Believe that. You can never lose your power. You may feel powerless, but that's only because your problems overshadow your strength. And it's for the moment. It's temporary. It's like a cloudy day. The clouds may block out the sun temporarily, but they never stop it from shining up an entire galaxy. So your power is inherent to you, and you can never lose it, no matter what happens. Now the power is already within you. No one else can give you power. They can only remind you of the power that's already within you. No one else can endow you with what's already your birthright. So remember, this is very significant to think of everything I'm telling you, just for you to realize that there is a meaning you listening to the show. There's a meaning for you applying everything I'm going to teach you to apply. And I'm going to go and take your calls in a minute. So Coy from New York, hold on the line. I'll be with you in a minute. But I want to ask you to connect with me on social media. I invite you to be my guest on social media. I have 2 Facebook accounts. One is for Europe, for different languages. One is for the people, that is actually the one I have more followers. It's like 150,000 people I have in one of my account, you know. So I just want you to understand that I appreciate a lot if you follow me. I want you to understand that I'm requesting this because I think it's essential for me to connect with you and to continue, you know, to keep you in touch with everything that I'm doing. So you can sign up to my mailing list if you want to receive information, helpful things. You find out when I'm doing a seminar. I'm doing a seminar October 16th. That actually is for the European people, but I'm going to do another seminar very soon. I'm releasing a new book called Plus One. I'm working on another book. I'm working I'm writing for a lot of magazines, and I became on one of the very known dating site, the specialist of a dating site called Our Tango. So I'm going to start writing there. I already start publishing articles, but I'm there, psychologist, and I also will help people. That site I think has 160 million people. So I'm very, very excited to be working with so many people and, be of guidance for so many people interested in relationship. But remember my last book, Committed, Finding Love and Loyalty Through the 7 Archetypes, is still available. So feel free to get that book. You can find it everywhere. You can buy it from Amazon. It's actually going to come in audio. So if you, soon I'm going to release the audio book. So you don't have to read it. You just listen to the book, and it's just going to be a different way of listening to the message. Now I know commitment is so essential in life. We want to be with somebody whose definition of commitment matches ours. So for that reason, I wrote this book, and I underline archetypes in the book, because archetypes are so significant. You need to know your own archetype. You need to know your partner's archetype. You need to know if your partner is really your match from a psychological point of view. But I'm going to give you 11 exercises for empowerment in a minute. But let me take a short break, a very short break. Then I'll go to Koi, and then we'll go through the exercises for empowerment.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organisation, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
You came across someone struggling with hunger. How would you recognize them? Would you notice an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for summer break
because she may not be having lunch again until September?
Or a war veteran who's having a hard time
landing a job and getting back on his feet?
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
And I'm back, and I will talk to Coy in New York. Hi, my love. Thank you so much for calling me.
Hi, my Carmen. Finally get to talk to you again.
Oh, you're so sweet. I'm great. What about you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, as always. I didn't get a chance to call you back a couple back. You know, when you did the Pinnacle thing, I had turned on, I saw late, so I didn't know what was really going on then. And then I was supposed to call you back the following week so we can go over it. And I became sick with sinus. So I was.
Oh, and how do you feel? You're okay right now?
Yeah, I'm okay right now.
Oh, okay.
So
okay, and any other major issues going on?
No, I don't have any complaints. I just, the sinus is pretty rough, but other than that, I mean, I have that quite a bit. You know, that chronic sinusitis. But I'm okay. Other than that, I'm doing better. My digestion is getting better. It used to really be really rough, especially when my brother was alive. But I feel that I'm healing not only my own, problems that was probably, but I feel like because I was taking on more with him, his thing. So I feel like now that's getting a lot better. If I do get sick, it doesn't last as long, and I'm not bedridden like I used to be. Yay! So.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to know about me and Michael. Our birthday is his is 9/17/56, and mine is 9/5/58.
Okay, give them again because I need to take a pen, so I need to write them down. So yours is what?
9/5/58.
9/5/1958.
Yes. And Michael's is 9/17/56.
56. So you're pretty much born in the same month. You have the same sign. Hold on 1 second.
Yes, we're both Virgos.
Yes. I know this. My husband, God bless his soul, he was a Virgo. Beautiful people.
Yes.
Very. Sorry?
We don't hear that enough.
No, you have a great connection with him. You're a great match. You complement each other extremely well.
Thank you.
You have a tendency of being on your own, you know.
Yes.
I don't know if you agree with me. Sometimes you're afraid. You're afraid of getting too deep in a relationship. You're afraid of being disappointed. You're afraid of losing your own power. Different emotions are taking over anytime you try to come closer to somebody. Do you agree?
I agree.
Yeah. So that's something you need to work on. That's something you need to work on.
I have noticed
Sorry?
that.
Right.
I have noticed that, and I am working on it. I'm giving myself a chance.
Mm-hmm. Right. So let me see what's happening with him. He's a nice, loving person. I mean, he's so good for you. I don't know if you see that.
Yes,
He's
I do.
complimenting you. He's that healing force. He's the one who's trying to convince you that you guys are, in a way, like soulmates, because you can be, with this codification, you so balancing each other. So he brings you what you need, and you bring him what he needs, you know.
Yes.
So you have 951, and he has 9832. So 832, you missing. He's missing 5 and 1. So you know numbers come from 1 to 9, and usually we have 3 numbers, 4 numbers if we're lucky in our codes, but no more than that. So, but what's interesting is that in his code, all the numbers you have, he's missing. You are missing his number. So what does it mean? In order to be complete, you have to have that full circles of numbers. So that's why I think that this is a very complementary relationship, and you're very good for each other. And the question comes, what exists within you stopping you to take this relationship to another level of power? What's within him that stops him from moving forward completely? Do you have an answer?
For me, I've never allowed myself to feel like this, and as
Right.
him, he's been hurt really badly, but he's healing, and he's
Oh no, he has a powerful healing force. This
Yes.
man is very powerful when it comes to his ability to heal.
Yes.
And when it comes to you, you're a number one. You're exactly a definition of somebody who tries to be independent. Plus, you have 2 times 5. That's living with one step on another dimension, you know. It's like you don't want to ground, you know, so much. You prefer to be free. You have a desire, freedom. The combination between 1 and 5 doesn't play very well in your favor when it comes to relationships. But he, on the other hand, he wants to be committed. He wants all of that, but he feels you resisting him. There's a resistance. Do you sense that?
What's funny is, Carmen, I thought it was him that was doing it, not me.
Well, you know what? It's so interesting. Actually, you projecting that he's a reflection of something that you project more or less consciously. I don't think this is a conscious thing that you're doing. You know, I'm very convinced this is not conscious. You are just projecting that unconsciously, and he's just reflecting it back to you. Now, I have one of my quotes is what you've experienced, you attract. So I'm going with you to your experiences when you were a child, when you were a teenager, when you were a young woman. What did you experience when it comes to love that made you attract somebody like this, or that made you try to isolate or try to be on your own or not trusting so much? What do you think happened to you?
I know what happened. First
Okay.
of all, I was unwanted. My brother and I were unwanted children.
Yeah, that says it all. That says it all. Yeah.
We were put in foster care at 1 year old, and he was He's like a year younger than me. And the families that we went to didn't want us either. So we had a lot of mental, emotional, physical, sexual
Right.
abuse.
Yeah.
And we were told we weren't wanted, not any good, nobody's gonna ever.
Right.
So that's when I shut down, and I just knew it was never going to be for me. And my brother, all he did was speak all the time. So and so where I shut down, he kept speaking it, but from the very people that didn't even want us. So it's
Right.
I'm learning. Excuse me. So I'm doing better. Thank you for asking.
Right. But you know what? You're working on understanding why all of this happened to you and why you brought this man. But he's actually a healing force. He's
Yeah,
healing himself and you. So this relationship is a healing energy between both of you. So
yeah.
where does this relationship stands right now? Where are you with him?
We are both doing very well. We know that we care for one another and that type of thing. Um,
Right.
we use the word love, although I'm quite sure that he does, and I'm quite sure that I know. Um,
Right.
I think nobody wants to say that and be held accountable. Um,
Right. Exactly.
um, I'm I'm praying for a future if that's God's will with this.
But are you guys talking about being together constantly, like building a relationship? Are you doing that?
Um, no, he says the opposite. He says he's been married before. He doesn't want to be a kept person. That he doesn't want to be you know held to anybody. And if he meets somebody like from a long time ago and they have a connection, he doesn't want to hurt me.
Right.
That's what he says. So that's where we are.
Okay.
So I just go
Okay.
ahead and accept
So
what he
at this
says.
point, you can say that the relationship is kind of stagnant or more dormant and is not moving forward.
No, I think it's moving forward. I think he says one thing, but he does show and prove otherwise.
Okay.
And me
But do
too.
you see that he needs you? Do you see that he wants to be with you? Do you see him
Yes,
trying desperately to be there for you?
yes.
I disregard what he says. I don't know if I believe any of the things he says. I'm more
I
convinced that this is just talk.
yes, me too.
Yeah,
So I
he's
that's
talking a lot of blah blah. Sorry.
all I say by answer is okay. And
Yeah,
then
but
oh
his action contradicts. You know what I mean?
yes,
Contradicts everything.
it does.
Yeah. So for that reason, I'm not worried. I'm not
Me
worried this really. I should see this. I want to see it progressing. I want to see you spending more time with each other. I want him
hmm
to open up to you. I want you to open up to him. I don't want you to force anything. I think this should come organically. I think it should come for both of you. And I do
Yes,
believe that it will. I'm a firm believer that the more the time goes by, the more you come closer to each other. And you should open up to him more.
yes.
Yeah.
I will do that. Thank you.
Okay, my lovely.
Thank you.
I am very positive and very convinced that you guys are brought together in this world, and you need to work on empowering each other, on making things happen. And don't give up, don't be intimidated, because this is my message. Don't be intimidated for whatever he says. These are just sometimes just words, and don't take them too seriously, So try to forgive him, and try to understand that he cannot be without you, and you need him as well. So I'm looking forward to you talking about him in the future, in the next number of months, and let's see where we're going 5-6 weeks, months from now, where we are in half a year from now. Okay?
Thank you. Yes, Lord.
Okay, my beautiful. I love you. So, and for everybody who wants to talk to me tonight, is about empowerment, is about you, is about finding the strength and the resources, to access that divine energy that exists within yourself. And I'm actually planning to give you the number 1 exercise, the number 11 exercises for empowerment, so that you can unlock your unique force through those simple exercises that will establish your capacity to create the best image, that those simple exercises that establish your tenacity. And I think that if you practice daily exercise, it's exactly like, how should I say, it's like a ritual that you need to practice every day. Then you will see how finally there's a breaking through. The number to call in is 202-570-7057. I'm looking forward to talk to you, and I'm going to take a very short break, and then I'm going to go to those 11 exercises that I prepare for you for the show.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers, and researchers pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
If I could be you,
and you could be me,
for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
to get inside
each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
And we are talking today, I'm back on the show, about the powerful you, how to increase your personal power, how to improve your life. And everything happens in the mind, every reality happens first in the mind. And if you study a little bit the way the brain works, you will be reading about the fact that there are some oscillation in the brain, that the brain, experience some a specific form of cognitive reality at different level. You're going to hear about delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma levels of the brain, that respond to oscillation in the brain, and also a lot of psychiatric disorders have a lot to do with what happens within the brain. Diseases like bipolar, mild cognitive impairment, Alzheimer's disease, attention deficit disorder, all have a lot to do with what happens inside the brain when the brain goes in different oscillation, and it's important to understand, that even diseases have related to that. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because we want to go at that level of the brain in which we access and open a portal in the brain that will have a lot to do with the power I'm talking about. So it's all about unlocking that force, and that force exists at a subtle level of the brain. Many times if you go to anybody spiritual, they will tell you, learn how to breathe. And I want to tell you, if you listen to the show, just breathe in and breathe out, and breathe in and keep your breath for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe out. And do this a number of times, and with the eyes closed. And then you go at another level, at the level of the brain, where all the problems exist. When you might start to access something, that portal, and you might see yourself projecting yourself beyond the limitation of time and putting in motion all the desires, the dream, the wishes, the envisioning yourself on the top of the pyramid, envision yourself achieving things that you always wanted since you are a child. That never happened until now. But if you're able to go at that level of the brain, in which you detach yourself from the low level of consciousness, which is your ego, you detach yourself from the emotional self, the soul, because you don't want your emotion to stop you from accessing that higher dimension of you, and go into that. Imagine like a big bright white door, and you step through that door and you see how your dreams are turning into reality, and keep on going there with your mind. And the more you go there, the more you will actually manifest. That's the way, that's the point in which you become the manifestation of your reality. And you're going to see how your things turn into something concrete within a day, within 3 weeks, within 3 months, and how your life is actually following your path, making your what you imagine, what you're visualizing, making it your own reality in the physical world. Now, when I talk about exercise of empowerment, I think of daily acts that you can use to operate on the power of the brain. For instance, moving. I do exercise every day. Moving of the body encourages strength. Not only that you move your body, it raises the level of the endorphins, the feel-good hormones, stabilizing your mind, stabilizing your emotion. Why I'm saying that? Because I explained before, we don't want to be at the level. We don't want to be at the level of the ego, because then we see everything distorted. We don't want to be at the level of the. We don't want to be at the level of the soul, where all the emotion take over. Is going beyond, but stabilizing your mind by releasing negativity. Movement, that's what movement does. This is way to become empowered is by walking, swimming, hiking, and doing whatever you like, whatever sport you choose, that you should engage on every single activity. I highly recommend for people to practice movement on a daily basis, and don't sit and feel sorry for yourself. Actually, one sign of depression is when people don't do anything, they stay in the house, they're not motivated to go anywhere, and it's when actually you start to detach yourself from the world around, and that's a clinical sign of depression. Now, also, for a long time, I speak on the radio about the speaking the right words, which expand the spectrum of your strength. Now, standing in front of the mirror, which I always recommend to do that on a daily basis, And when you wake up and tell yourself, today I'm prepared, today I'm ready, today I am powerful, today I'm a winner, because you access again that portal. Whatever affirmation that relate the best in you, the most important thing is to speak your words with conviction, so that they really resonate within you. So that's another thing that is extremely important in order to realize that what you speak, you actually become, because what you think, you will speak, and what you speak will convert into your physical reality. Because if you constantly say things like, I don't know, I don't trust myself, I'm not good enough, I've never been lucky, I am miserable, that's what you put out, and that's what you will resonate back to you. It's like the universe vibrates and resonates, and keeps you constantly vibrating at the same energy. It's like what you put out there will be reflected in the universal power. So another step or another exercise is I urge people to never compare yourself, because that has a lot to do with your individuality. If you start, because people tend all the time to be jealous, to compare themselves, and realize that your strengths are yours alone, and what you have no one else possesses, the same quality, talents, and the marvelous traits that exist within you. So I want you to understand and highlight your best features, and utilize your originality as an expression of your unshakable strength. So individuality is a powerful element that defines your success. Being you for who you are, and trusting yourself and believing in yourself. I always do show on how to love yourself, and in a sense that if you don't do it, if you don't honor yourself, nobody will do it for you. So the only person in this life that you are stuck with forever is you. The rest of the people coming into your life, they come and go. Friends will fade away. Family members might die one day. Your marriage might fall apart, and after many years of a marriage, you might end up in a divorce. So you're the only one you have to spend your life with. So working on individuality and who you are is extremely significant for empowerment, is extremely significant for manifesting what you want to manifest. And continuing on the so-called 11 exercises that I want you to consider, another one that I really believe is part of your empowerment is being inspired. If you want to achieve in life whatever you want, be inspired. I remember always that my daughter always told me that she wants to write. That she says, oh mom, every word can turn into a book. She said that because she sees the meaning in every word. For her, words are an inspiration, and it should be for you. Allow yourself to become excited. Excited by every single detail about your life. Inspiration allows you to elevate the sense of awareness and become more sensitive in connection to everything that surrounds you, with the nature, with the people around you, with the beauty of the world you are living in. So I want you to watch the world around you, and look around every corner. There are millions of reasons to feel inspired, to take on new ideas, projects, and new beliefs. So it's important, because many times we're so disconnected from the world around. We're so trapped into our inner world that sometimes is not that bright and is not that revealing. So talking about empowerment, this is a way, being inspired is a way to empower yourself. You're inspired by what other people did before you, and you can take on a concept, on a project. In my opinion, everything has been said before over and over for centuries. But you can give it a different spin. whatever inspires you, work on it. Put your mark on it. Make it yours. And continuing with the exercises, I really believe that, and I said before, seeing it, visualizing it, and people talk about visualization for many, many years. But take 5 minutes every single day and do a quick way to visualize something that is significant for you. So allow yourself to daydream. Daydream freely. Picture the ideal outcome of every problem. Let's say you're in the middle of a crisis. Take a step back, breathe, and close your eyes and try to see how you can turn that around. And let your mind flow freely. See images, imagine things, how you can break through. Mentally projecting the outcome that you want. And revitalizing your strength and give you hope. Give yourself hope for the possibility of positive things to come. Even if you're in the middle of a very difficult period in your life, see beyond it. It's all about don't get stuck. You know, the danger is of being blocked, being stuck into something. So that's why the mind has the ability to project your future and made it right, made it the way you want it to be. So that means empowerment. When you put your strength, put your mind to work, go from the alpha, theta, delta level, go into a higher dimension of your brain where the power exists, and bring that strength, bring that light, bring that force, and turn it into, make it work for you. Another aspect of this daily exercises have a lot to do with past reflection. When I said past reflection, that's equally important, that your future allows you to measure progress. Don't imagine that, okay, you're gonna just shift from being in a place with no job and no money and into becoming a billionaire the next day. It's not gonna happen this way. So you have to reflect on your past to realize how far you've come. And I want all of you to create journal entries in which you translate. You translate your intention into words. You concluding with the things you've accomplished so far in order to see what is next to be accomplished. So this is called past reflection. It's equally important because it allows you, as I said, to acknowledge that you are really moving forward. And I always encourage people, go take a notebook and write down every single day. Write down how you feel. Write down what you want to accomplish. This has exactly the same power like speaking the right thing. Writing, it's a beautiful tool. Speaking is not a beautiful tool. Closing your eyes and seeing it is not a beautiful tool. Moving your body, your brain, to make it happen. This is all significant. Always remember to thank yourself. Always be grateful to you and grateful to everybody around, because you're able to make things right. You're able to see through your mistakes. At the same time, remember that your body needs nourishment. Food has a nutritional value. Food means energy. And that's why we need to know what are we putting within ourselves. We used to say we are what we think, we are what we talk, we are what we need, we are what we visualize, we are what we reflect. We are a reflection of so many things. But you'll be ready to manifest your new power by establishing the two-way communication with your body. So significant. Some people ignore their body. I see people who are so heavy and they are so struggling with their health, with their identity, with making anything possible for them. So trust me, having a mind, body, soul in connection and establishing, as I said, that relationship with your body, having a lot to do with the nourishment and with the right nutrition is significant for you to achieve what you want to achieve. The moment you don't have a good relationship with food, the moment you don't know what you're putting in your body, and you lose control over that, is when you are really becoming sick or mentally depressed, or so all the negativity is surrounding you. So be careful to have the right weight. Be careful what you eat. It's significant in the same time for your empowerment. I want you to acknowledge that there's a divine source. We've been talking about the divine source. Have you ever wondered after a long day how in the world, for instance, you went through all the challenges? Even you are amazed sometimes by your own power to be perseverant. But when you need it most, the universe is always blessing us with emotional, mental, physical power. Recognize that you are an open channel and energy, that you are energy that calls on your divine source to refuel you with unlimited strength. Let's say you're weak, you feel powerless, you don't have strength. Be in touch with the universal force. Close your eyes again. Sit in the yoga position with the hands absorbing the cosmic energy. And this is the way you actually refuel and get that unlimited strength back into your auric field and into your physical body at the cell level. So it's amazing how all of this has a lot to do with the divine force of life. And don't forget about that. Don't forget about your own action. There is no quicker road to empowerment than taking action. And there's no better action to take than to live out your dreams. And many times, you put off pursuing our intention because we're afraid of failure. You're afraid it's not going to work, I'm going to fail. But today, I want you to think differently. When you say that your effort yields positive results, you will become more driven to act and more confident in your idea and more confident in your intention. But when you're feeling weak, at times, there are so many action that you're going to fail. You're not going to know exactly what to do. So I just want you to take the proper action by believing that you will always overcome, that you will always survive, and there is nothing you cannot do. And for that reason, do your favorite activities. When was the last time you indulged in your favorite hobby? Doing things that you love instantly will uplift you and re-energize your spirit. Whatever it is. It's like if this has to do with the special talent that you have. That you like to sing, to dance, you like to cook, you like to create a special thing. It's like there are so many activities that add to variety and color of your day, and they make you, as I said, it's a way to empower. It's all empowerment, that's the topic of my show. And talking about empowerment, have a cause. There's so much power in joining a cause, because that heightens your power, because you share and you receive energy in a group with similar effort. There are people that have the desire to save animals. There are people who want to help the children. People who want to help hospitals, help older people. So join a cause. What one person lacks, another person has, and this you're going to find in a group. It's like when you're in a group, you feel energetically complete because you work with other people towards a goal, and we all believe in something and all become involved in bringing the change we want to see. We used to say, be the change you want to see in the world. And I want you to do that. I want you to follow these steps. I want you to implement these steps into everyday life. I want you to awaken to your full extent of the power within yourself. And as I said at the beginning of the show, you are stronger than you know. And you hold more power than you think. Within you, there's that force that begs you to be awakened. But sometimes, the outside world brings you down, and you need to be reminded of your strength. And that's what I did on the show today, because this show was dedicated to restore your potential from the inside out and to rebuild the confidence in your incredible abilities. I want you to learn how to break through these obstacles using those 11 steps I gave you. I want you to gear for your challenges and become the person that has the best in you, and your greatest purpose will be revealed. Dr. Carmen Harra on Home Time Radio. I'll be with you next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, in a wonderful station, Home Time Radio. I'm very grateful to everybody listening. I'm grateful to my producer, to everybody at Home Time, and God bless you. I'll see you and talk to you next week.